How is everyone doing today? I'm coming to you live from the grow room. I haven't done a live stream in a long time. Not really my thing, but figured I got nothing else to do today. It's really cold outside today, and I was gonna go and try to clear out my road to the sugar bush, but my snowblower has broken, so I'm gonna scrap that to the scrap metal. And snowplow, it's too much snow for me to use a little baby snowplow on the four-wheeler. So And I think I just said it's really cold outside today, like almost frostbite cold. So I decided to come here and do a live stream today from the grow room. Show you what I got started. It's a bit of a mess in here like always, but that's the way it goes. Hello to my first watcher. How are you doing today? Um, I'm just gonna go through some of the things I'm growing here right now and show you what I have growing, what I've started. One of the first things I start every year are onions. So I've got my tray, one of my tray of onions here. I've got a whole bunch of things going on here. I probably have like 6 or 7 trays. I'm doubling up what I grow this year. We are going to be doing 2 farmers markets this year, so we need to double up what we are growing. Over here, I've got more onions. These ones are starting a bit earlier, but they're coming along nicely. I need to actually trim them back a bit so that they get a better root fall on them, root system. But I found different ways of growing these onions over the years. I grow them in these old mushroom containers here, and I find that they seem to work pretty good because they have a really deep base here, so a lot of room for the roots to grow here. Whereas my trays here, like the 128 trays I use, they're not bad. They're not as deep. They're close, but I prefer these. But there are pros and cons to using this over that. I find that, like I said, root base is better with this. The con to using these is when you're separating them to go out into the garden, there's a lot more, you got to pull them apart and everything. Whereas these ones here, you just pop the cell out and you just transplant them really easily. So it works well that way. Hello, everyone. Feel free to leave comments or have some comments in the chat there. Have any questions, feel free to ask them. What else am I growing here? I have some of the other things I'm growing this year. I got started right away are some coneflowers, purple coneflowers. I got them. Hey, Darren, how you doing? Oh, you're telling me we didn't get much snow. We probably got maybe about 5 inches of snow. So we got home from Peterborough late last night and plowed late last night when I got home and a little bit this morning. But I was just saying that our snow blower on the tractor, I broke the shaft on it. So we have no more snow blower, and I can't really get out to my sugar bush. So I don't know what to do for syrup season this year. I might have to talk to the neighbor and see if he can allow me out because he usually helps me once in a while. Yeah, so I've decided to stay inside where it's warm because it's really cold today. So here we are. Yeah, so as I was saying, I've got some coneflowers I got started here, and I've got some peppers here, which is pretty exciting. I need to actually one of the reasons I came down here was I gotta water them too, so I figured I'd do a live while I'm watering my plants here. You just got a bunch of flowers, rhubarb, salad, burnet, and parsley. Very nice. I've never done rhubarb from seed. I've gotten a bunch of transplants from friends, so I've transplanted a bunch of rhubarb the past few years, and I don't know how it grows from seed, if it grows really well or if it takes a year or two. Have you done that from seed before, Darren? I have no idea. Hello, David. Where am I from? I am from Ontario, Bancroft, small town. We are probably about 2.5 hours north of Toronto, and we're buried deep under snow. But I like to get my seeds started early because I am a market gardener. So I was saying earlier on that I like to get my cabbages and my onions started, kale, Swiss chard, because those are cold hardy crops. Last year I had a lot of that stuff in the ground April 1st, but we'll see this year because we have more snow than I've seen in about 5 years up here. So it's ridiculous. And also with the greenhouse, I usually plant stuff in the greenhouse first week of April. Last year was like, I think this third week of March I had stuff in the greenhouse because it was super warm last year. We had no snow at that point, so it's pretty awesome. I gotta get putting my glasses on because I can't read the comments because I'm blind. Let's see, we're going to do a ton this year. Awesome, yeah. I find rhubarb every year at the market, people are looking for rhubarb to buy, and we never have enough. So that's why I started a bunch more rhubarb from seed, or started some more rhubarb from getting cuttings from people. It's funny, like rhubarb grows like weed once it's established, so it's easy to find, but people are still willing to pay big money for it at the markets. But hey, it's all good. All right, so I gotta put some water in these guys here. One of the things I like to do for watering down here is I've got one of these weed sprayers, and they're great for like seed starts. And it's just so much easier to just take your water and spray it down nice and slow. But usually, if they're really well established, I'll just use some bucket of water that I have down here, right here. Just get it from the tap down here, and just use a yogurt container like this, and just top it up from the bottom water feed them. I find down here that our furnace is beside the grow room here, so things dry out pretty quickly. So I am always down here every day, topping the water up and making sure nothing dries out. What else we got going on in here? I've got what's this? Oh, cauliflower. So one of the companies I ordered from, they are called Eco Seeds. I believe they're out of Quebec. Highly recommend them. I've been using them for about 2 or 3 years now, and they a good seed, a lot of bulk seed. For me, I need bulk seed for my market garden. So some of the smaller companies don't have the bulk seed, and it gets too expensive. So they do bulk seed, and they're cheaper than a lot of companies I've found. And they sent me these purple cauliflower, Violetta Italiana, this year as an added bonus. So we are going to grow some of those this year. I am probably not going to grow them in my garden. I've never had luck with cauliflower. They never seem to grow well for me. And plus with the cauliflower, if it's whitehead, you need to wrap them up with leaves to keep them white. And I don't have patience and time for that. Just gonna bring my bucket of water up here so I can water these guys up as well. But I'm gonna start I'll sell these this year as seed starts. So I'm hoping to sell a bunch of seed starts this year again. Didn't sell too many last year. I didn't promote it too well, but I need to get on that. Need to start posting around, and yeah, just a little bit of extra revenue first thing of the season, just to help pay for the seeds that we bought. And yeah, so there we go. We're gonna try some cauliflower this year for selling, and then got some basil over here as well. I've planted them twice now because some of the seed starts aren't doing too well here. I've got a lot of old seed, which happens around here. My wife's dad bought a bunch of seed from an auction about 5 years ago, and it was tubs and tubs of seeds. So we have been using them, but they are getting old and not germinating well. So I need to buy some more fresh seed for the ones that have been sitting here for years and not doing a whole lot of good. So I'm just watering some basil right now. It's not hard with this phone to see everything because it's so tight in this room here. Do that. Hello, Miles. How are you doing today? Thanks for dropping by. Kind of like impromptu live here from the grow room, just showing everybody out there where I've got started. I feel like I've started everything too early this year, just because with all the snow. But I'm hoping it melts fast. It's supposed to be warm next week for about 4 or 5 days. And I was just saying I got to figure out how to get to my sugar bush so I can tap some trees and set my collection points up for that. Okay, some basil down there. What else we got growing in here? Up here, I think there's more cabbages. Yeah, I got some green cabbages growing. They get a little leggy here. Because the leg's not too strong up here, so I'm going to set down here. And then over here, I got more. I think these ones are leeks. I had some lady who watched me from YouTube years ago sent me a bunch of leek seeds, and I have tried them a few years ago and didn't have much success. But now that I've got more garden beds this year, I added about 6 to 8 more beds last year. I'll have room to try more crops this year that I did not grow last year. And we're actually ramping up this year. We are doing two farmers markets. And right now, I think I probably have close to 5 CSA boxes ready to rock for this year. and because that's just from what we had last year. So I could probably get up to 10 boxes this year. So I'm just trying to ramp it up and produce a lot of food for all the families around here. Everyone's really appreciative of what we are doing here. So I'm adding new crops, basically, is what I'm saying. I'm going to try a few other things. I'm going to be trying some okra this year. And I got these new seeds, zucchini seeds from West Coast Seeds, and actually climbing zucchini seeds instead of bush ones. So I'll be able to trellis them along one of my fence lines, which will give me more space in the garden for other crops. So I'm not wasting a bed or two on crops like the zucchinis and squashes that spread over your whole garden. So I'm kind of excited about that, to try those out and see how they are doing. How you doing, Miles? How's the weather where you are? You buried under snow, or what's going on? Let me know. What else do we have going on in here? So these are some of the old seeds I've got too. Some mint seed. I've got probably 50 packages of mint seeds, and I've only got one that's popped up. I've put about 8 packages in here to see if they will germinate, and not doing so well. But I just want to try to get them, try to use that old seed up so that I can actually clear out my seed bin so I can start fresh next year and get some fresh herbs and stuff. Okay, what else do we have going down here? That container's done anyways. What do you have over here? I'll bring the phone over here so you guys can check some of the stuff out here. So over here is my other section here I've got going on here. We have a lot here. Got some more cabbages, or no, so these are kale. I'll have to transplant some of these soon. They're getting their true leaves on them. Over here I got some snapdragons. Hopefully you can see those snapdragons. I got some more peppers up here. Up here I've got ginger. I'll bring that down. I've got some celery started. I'll bring those over in a second here. And some eggplants. We got a lot going on in here. I got more actually farther out on our other grow station there too. All right, thanks for dropping in, Darren. Have a great day. We'll see you later. Yeah, snowing and warmer than you. Just shallots and onions and just started peppers yesterday. Very nice. What kind of peppers are you growing there? Anything exciting? I've got some new peppers I'm trying this year too. I got from West Coast Seeds. They are right here. Jimmy Nardello. I've never heard of them, but they look interesting. They say they are heirloom Italian frying pepper with incredibly sweet flavor, both fresh and cooked. Grow Jimmy Nardello once you see why it has gained its notoriety. Long, slender, and often curled fruit grow in abundance on large plants and hold late in the season. Well, that's exciting. I can't wait to try those out. So for me, my peppers, I never have good luck with my peppers here. I've grown them in the ground in the greenhouse, and they never get enough, I guess, growth on them. I get a few peppers here and there, but it's kind of a waste of my time. So I might actually try to grow my peppers this year in pots in the greenhouse, because that'll be some added extra heat. And every time I see people growing peppers in their pots, they get super big and bushy and tons of fruit. So I'm going to try that. So that will save me some space in the greenhouse too for my ginger, which I'll show you right now. So ginger, you need to start really early. It takes about 10 months to grow. Last year was my first year with real good ginger. I had about 5 or 6 really good pieces, but I've got a whole bunch started here. You can see all the shoots coming up, which is exciting. So what's going to happen is once these shoots get probably another few inches taller here, that's just a pea shoot that was volunteer. So once this shoot gets another 3-4 inches, I will break it off of the ginger, the mother ginger plant, and then I will transplant it into a pot, and we will let it grow there for a few months or two probably until it gets warm enough in the greenhouse. So ginger likes really hot heat and humidity, from what I've been told. I've heard people actually put greenhouse plastic over the ginger in a greenhouse to get that extra heat and humidity to grow. But last year I found mine did fairly well. So I'm hoping to have at least 50 ginger plants this year in the greenhouse. Okay, what else do we have going on here? Okay, so I grew celery a few years ago, probably like more than a few years ago, like five years ago. But trying it again, and you have to start them 8 to 10 weeks before the last frost date. So these ones are really big. I've got more out in the other spot, but they're getting pretty big. I might start them a bit too early, but hey, that's the way it goes. California Wonder, Purple Beauty. Yeah, I've grown California Wonder. I've got some of those going today, or drawn as well. Purple Beauty, I've grown those. Nice. Zulu and Doe Hill and Jalapeno. I am doing a bunch in the pots this year. We are in a pepper fly maggot issue now. Oh, I don't think I've ever heard pepper fly maggot. I know a few years ago I brought some peppers in from the greenhouse. I transplanted them inside, so I could try to keep them going and take them back out. And they brought in aphids everywhere, which is funny because I don't see aphids in my garden ever. But just bring them in with the soil, they destroyed a whole bunch of stuff. Like I had some citrus trees. I got over citrus trees. We gotta get rid of those. And I was trying to start some brassicas one year, and they just destroyed the seedlings, all the aphids from those pepper plants. So I don't transplant pepper plants inside anymore as much as I like to, so I can have a head start. That's just the way it goes. Okay, so there's a celery. Here's some of the Jimmy Nardella peppers. They're coming up right here, coming along slowly. And a volunteer tomato from last year. There's not much coming up. These are some of the old pepper seeds I've got in here. I got some cayenne and some other big red peppers, but they are not germinating. They've been here weeks. Yeah, a bunch of my old pepper seeds I have, they have not germinated well at all. So I'm just replanting over the soil because I know they're not going to germinate. So I'm not wasting my time. I've had some sitting in here for like probably a month now and nothing's come up, which they should have come up by now because it usually takes 7 to 21 days depending on your conditions for that to pop up. What else we have going on here? Over here, eggplants I've got going as well. They take a long time to germinate usually, so we've got those going. You water these guys up a bit. I grew eggplants 2 years ago and they did pretty good in the greenhouse. I didn't put too many in, but I'm going to try some more this year, I think. And I'll sell these as seedlings as well. So we got those guys. This is pretty old seed too, but it's coming up. What else do we have going on in here? I'll grab my phone and bring it over this way here. We also have some basil that I just transplanted. Hopefully you guys can see that here. Basil here. Got more onions in here. These ones are, oh, actually look at the leeks there. The leeks are doing well. I've got some, this is the Swiss chard in here. Yep, Swiss chard I've got going in there. And then I've got my Salanova lettuces started right here. You see they're starting to germinate here. So those will be going in the greenhouse first week of April. Everything thaws out so that I can have stuff ready for the market for the Mother's Day weekend, which is, I think, halfway through May this year. So my goal is to have that ready. Some, what else? Baby Hackberry turnips, spinach, arugula, radishes, and mostly Salanova because I need that for my 2 markets. I'm going to see if I can produce enough for 2 markets the first few weeks, but I doubt it because it's going to be tight with lack of greenhouse space. I really need another greenhouse so I can amp up my production there. What else do we have going on here? Got some spearmint up here, but it's not coming up either. There's some old oregano seed, and that's not coming up, but we'll have the price right here. You sow lots in a shallow flat and brick, anything out that germinates in pot. And yeah, that's a good idea. I haven't done that, and I should, but I always just use it on all my trays, hoping that they all germinate, and they don't. But I still have, where are my seeds? I get stuff everywhere. It's ridiculous. I'm so disorganized half the time here. What do we have here? No, I was just trying to see. I don't think I have many more now. Here we go. There's not many of the pepper seeds left. I only have a few bags left. This is what's in this one here? This is the sweet banana peppers. I should try that in the tray like you were suggesting. That's a good idea. I got some sweet. These King of the North. Someone gave me these last year out of seed swap I got. And then I have these other ones that I got from West Coast Seeds years ago. Yes to Yellow. I've grown them a few times, but I don't know why I keep growing them. The peppers are like really tiny. They're probably supposed to be a bit bigger than that, but I never had luck with them. But I've been saving the seeds for my peppers anyways, and try to replant them every year. Yeah, you know what? That greenhouse we have is awesome. The It's really thick steel on it. It's super sturdy. It's held up against the wind, snow. Obviously, when there's too much snow, I need to brush it off so it doesn't collapse. The plastic on it is 12 millimeter plastic with like the white lines through it, so it's like a rip stop, so it helps prevent it from ripping. Um, the only thing I would probably do different is get a bigger greenhouse, honestly. But that's what we had. We got it from an auction. I think we got for like $1,200 and brand new. It's a TMG Industries off their website. I think it's like $2,400. I've noticed that when we were putting it together, there were a few parts missing, a few screws here and there, but we just kind of modified things on it. The thing with greenhouses is there's like so many different styles and brands out there. It's hard to choose what you're going to get. So we lucked out with this one. We've been looking at a lot of greenhouses from old grow-ups that people are selling. You know, like 100-foot long by 30 feet wide, but they all look like that they're those cheap Chinese made ones. They just put them up for one season so that they can, you know, have one season off out of it and then make their money and run. So I'd like to get one of those, but I'd have to probably reinforce the sides with 2x4s and do kick plates as well, so that they're more sturdier against the wind, and you have to buy really good plastic for it as well. So I don't know, I hope that answers your questions. I'd definitely been thinking about buying one more of the same size that we have and extending it, but it's just a matter if I have the room for that, because in the wintertime we have to put snow there. I'm not going to use the area beside the greenhouse to drive around the back with my four-wheeler and compost, so I can get it into the back of the greenhouse. There's a few things actually I'll mention about the greenhouse that I don't like a whole lot. It's got these cheap windows on the side. Like the windows work okay, but they're Velcro, so you can't really Velcro them down anywhere after 4 seasons because they got a whole bunch of dirt and grime in them. So it would be nice if they had just roll-up sides, so you could roll the sides up to let the heat out when it gets too hot. There's one door on the front of it, and when we got it, I thought, looking at the pictures, it looked like there was another door on the other end. So it'd be nice to have another door on the other end for airflow, but right now it's good. I've just got a fan on the top of it that I put in there, and just turn that on with the door open and the windows up in the summertime, and it works well that way for airflow and keeping it cool enough and not get too hot. The other thing too with the roll-up windows that it has on the sides there, it has Velcro too to hold it so that it doesn't roll down, but they're all getting frail and brittle from the sun, and they basically disintegrated. So I gotta find a way this year to hold my sides up so they can have some airflow. Off-grid wannabe, how are you doing? But soon plastic covered garage is still full 3/4 of the way up to the sides. Yeah. Build an all year one attached to the garden. Yeah, well, what we're doing actually, a friend of mine just moved up here. She lived in Kobukong, and you're welcome, Nourishing Foundations. Hope that helped. Any other questions, let me know. I hope I went through everything. It's always one of those things with greenhouses, trying to figure out which ones you like. I was looking at the Plantera ones. They're super expensive, and they're not big enough for me. They're really narrow. I think they're Canadian made from out in Alberta. My friend Sandy has one, so I saw it a few weeks ago. It's pretty cool, but just not suitable for my needs. For a home gardener, probably okay, but yeah, definitely not for my context. Not going to work. Yeah, sorry. Back to my story about my friend that moved up here. She's an older lady, and she just bought this property, and it has a whole bunch of the heaters inside, you know, to hook up to your wood boiler. So I went and looked a few weeks ago, and they were too big and old school. Some of them looked like they would probably use like half the energy from a power grid. So she texted me the other day and said she found a smaller one, and it looks like it might be well for my greenhouse. So I'm going to go over, take a look in a few weeks, hopefully once the snow is gone, and I'll be able to hook that up in my greenhouse as well. And then I'm going to get my friend DJ, he's our plumber, and he's going to help me hook that up so I can run lines from the wood boiler to the greenhouse, which is probably like 50, 60 feet apart. Now run the lines underground to the heater, and then I'm not sure if there's a fan on it, but if there's not, I can use my fan to blow that warm air in. So I'll be able to extend my season in the greenhouse. The other option I was gonna do if I couldn't find one of those heaters is I was just gonna use the lines underneath my walkways in the greenhouse, like dig maybe a foot deep, and just do coils around with the hot water lines underneath. That would recirculate back to the hot water boiler, and then that would do the radiating heat in the ground. And I think that was going to be my other option if I couldn't find actual heater to blow heat through the greenhouse. I just don't want to pay for electricity, so if I can just use the heat we already have from the boiler, that is my plan, and that's what I want to do to keep my greenhouse warmer, because that's been on the list for 3 years now and it hasn't been done. Anyways, yeah, that's going to probably be a late summer to fall project, I'm hoping, to get that done so I can try to extend my tomatoes this year, because I want to keep my tomatoes going for as long as possible, and if I can get some heat in there, that'd be awesome. I would love to have that extra heat in there. All right, what else do we have growing in here? I got more stuff out there. I've transplanted some coneflowers out there. I've got some cilantro I planted. I got some pea microgreens going, which is pretty awesome. And what else do I have? Some more onions out there. I'm just trying to see. It's a long way to. It's not that long, but it's just a few feet away. But I need to get some more stuff started again. I'm kind of thinking I started stuff too early this year, just with the snow. But I'd rather be earlier than late, because you can always transplant up to bigger pots. Usually I get the jitters, and I gotta plant my seed and stuff super early. But this year with my tomatoes, I'm pulling off on my tomatoes. I always plant them way too early, and then transplant them, and they get so laggy. So I have tomato plants like this and just flopping over, and not really worth doing them that early, because it end up catching up anyways. So if I had the heat, actually, if I did have that heater in the greenhouse, then I could probably get my tomatoes in the greenhouse like almost a month earlier, because right now it's been about June, first week of June, I've been getting my tomatoes in, and by the time I actually get any ripe tomatoes, it's almost close to August. So I want to be the first one to the market. Well, let's be honest, I'm really the only one in the market selling veggies up here, so I've got the domination anyways. But I want to have tomatoes on my market table before any other gardeners in the area have tomatoes growing on their vines. That way I can actually have some people come in to me buy tomatoes. I've had a lot of people actually want to buy bushels and bushels of tomatoes from me for canning, but I don't have enough space to grow that much tomatoes for people for canning, between us canning and selling what we do at the market and all the boxes what we do this year. So I got to figure out a bigger greenhouse so I can actually grow more things like that. I had a few people last year buy bushels of carrots and beets, which I could no problem do, because I had like 5 beds of carrots last year, and I sold them all. I had 4 the previous year and sold them all. So every year I'm doing more and more beds of carrots, and they seem to be a big seller, and it's working well. So I'm going to see what other seeds I have here, show you guys what I'll be planting. Just give me 1 second. I just have to grab some of the seeds here. So right now my computer is broken. I had the screen go dark on me about 3 weeks ago. So I took it to the repair shop, and they're taking a long time. They had to send it out to a Mac dealer to actually get it repaired. I was hoping it's going to be ready this week, but I have a few videos on there that I need to upload and for you guys to check out. But there's this company that I've been talking with and dealing with a little bit here and there lately. They're called Matches Seeds. They're out of Quebec. The guy's name is Michael. Super nice guy. I've met him a few times actually. I met him I think last year at the CD Saturday in Apsley, which we'll be doing, and then I met him at the Canadian Homesteading Conference in Denby last year. So I chatted with him, did a little video with him as well. So I'll be been chatting with him quite a bit actually, back and forth, and he was kind enough. He sent me a bunch of seeds this year for free, just to help us out. I would love to support him, but he doesn't do bulk seed for myself, so I can't really justify buying from him. But if he had bulk seed, I would. So I've done a video on the seeds he sent me, and I've got a discount code that I'll be putting the link there, so you guys can buy some seeds from him. Use a discount code. I think it's 5% off if you buy 5 packs or more. But yeah, he sent me a bunch of seeds, so I'll just go through a quick little thing here. Some Alpha Burpless type cucumbers. What else? Sent me a bunch of those, actually, a lot of those, which is awesome. Some blue Hubbard squash. We have some basil, so I should plant that basil actually soon. And some summer savory, which is a herb. Some pumpkins, New England pie pumpkins. Rainbow blend carrots, so I'll throw those in with my carrots. Oh, these are going to be cool. I've been looking at these for a while. The teddy bear sunflowers, they're like big and poofy, so I'm excited to check those out. And what are these ones here? Some Giants of California mixture zinnias, so some more zinnias. I like zinnias. All right, you built a carpet grow tunnel last year, or carpet grow tunnel, yeah, for tomatoes that work great, but about six bushels, but we need to build a much larger one for everything else we grow that needs heat next season. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I built a carport greenhouse at my last garden at my uncle's. There was, I think, 10 by 20, and it was awesome. Like did really well. But yeah, they are handy. Bigger is better always though. And then what else? All helpful to think through. Yeah, if you I don't know if you've seen my carport video greenhouse, but I basically did a walkthrough of how I built it. And there's a few things I would do different on it next time, but it's my uncle still has the plastic's still good after like 6 or 7 years of being at his place. Typically greenhouse plastic they say is good for 4 years, and then you need to replace it, but he said it's still standing up. Where are you from, Nourishing Foundations? Don't let me know your name too, so I can call you by your real name. Ordered some sunchokes from Quebec, just waiting to arrive. Cool. I think sunchokes. No, it's Jerusalem artichokes. I would never grow. My uncle had Jerusalem artichokes he got from his dad years ago, and they spread like weeds. And honestly, Jerusalem artichokes are everywhere. They're just taking over. So I would never grow Jerusalem artichokes. Yeah. So what else are we growing this year? Near Fergus. Oh, hey Bethany. Awesome. I don't know too many people's names. I just know them by their YouTube names. So Bethany from Fergus. Hopefully I can remember that. All right. Hey Jane, how you doing? I said your regular tomatoes. I can grow the same. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I've got some San Marizino. I can't say that. I don't know why. Tomatoes as well. So I'm part of the ambassador program from West Coast Seeds, and they always send seeds every few months. So they sent me some tomatoes actually. These are some of the Marcito ones, the San Marizino ones. Can't pronounce it. And then here's the zucchini that I was talking about earlier on. These are the tomatoes that vine up instead of bushing out. So you can trellis these ones up. So I'm excited to try those guys out. That'll be fun. They sent me some more zinnias too. They send zinnias every year. We won first place in 2 categories at the Cohill Market or Cohill Fair 2 years ago for zinnias, so it's pretty exciting. I wasn't able to make it to the Cohill Fair last year, just too much going on. But this year, I need to get back into it. We have some friends that live in Cohill, and they've been egging me on to put my maple syrup in there because he says there's not many people do maple syrup for competition. So I need to put mine in there and hopefully kick his butt. And then his wife, she actually egged us on a few years ago to start. So we won first place in a lot of categories and got some seconds and thirds. So that's pretty awesome. These ones I bought, I think, oh no, they sent these ones by Phil Baby cucumbers. I've been growing some other cucumbers called mini me's. They're really fun. I like growing those. Here's some other seeds I'm trying this year's okra. So I want to try these out, see how they grow. I've never really eaten okra, but with my veggie boxes this year, I'm really trying to branch out on a whole bunch of different crops so that my customers can try different things and see if it works out. These are old seeds too, cucamelons. These grew really crazy in the greenhouse last year. The vines, if you don't prune the vines on these things, they just go every single way. They put like 500 runners out. It's ridiculous. I grew these last year, so Kratis. They don't need a pollinizer. They pollinize themselves. They did really well. Really big cucumbers. So those are awesome. I like growing those. I grow out some more delicatas. I haven't grown those in a few years, and Kristen likes them a lot. So I need to grow a bunch of vines for her so she can have some delicata squashes. Okay. Just Italian candy, red carpet onions, and Ned's Lot and mussel burrow leek starch so far. Right on. Cool. Yeah, I always get the itch, like I was saying, that I want to grow, plant everything now, but you can't. You gotta wait. That grow up zucchini, let me know your experience. I will, Jane. I will probably do a video on it, because I am excited to try those out. It's anything, like I was saying earlier on, anything I can do to save space in my garden beds. If I can put these zucchinis along the fence line so that I can have more space for other crops, I'm all for it. So I'm pretty excited to try that out. And here's some seeds I bought. Some arugula, and then some more Hakurais. If you guys have never grown Hakurais, they're pretty awesome to grow. They're like a white little golf ball size turnips you pick, and they're super sweet. They have lots of juiciness to them and a little bit of spice at the end. So it's pretty awesome. I actually, for the first time last year, I started putting these at the market. I grew them I think 6-7 years ago and tried them at a different market I was at, and they didn't take too well. But this market here, people seem to be really liking them and taking them on. So I had one they keep coming back every week asking me if I had more, and they're more like a fall crop and a spring crop. They like the cooler weather, so I'll be growing lots of those. Thanks for everybody dropping in. 70 you, awesome. I haven't done a live stream in a long time, and this is the most I've ever had on a live stream, so that's pretty exciting. And here's some more of the San Marzino tomatoes I'll be growing as well. I got a lot more seeds somewhere from this year that I ordered. I just don't know what I've done with them. I actually organized them and put them all into try to be organized and put them in, in my containers with all the other seeds. So like carrots I got, some more spinach I got. What else did I get? I got lots of different ones this year, but I'm hoping to really expand. Expand the garden a bit more. I got one more bed I need to dig. Another 50-foot long one that is 50 foot by 30 inches. So I need one more of those to finish off my last pot that has 8 beds. So I think I'll be up to 36 50-foot beds. And then my garlic beds, I think there's about 5 or 6 of those, which are about 45 feet long by 30 inches as well. But I need to add another 1 or 2 beds down there as well. And then we have the greenhouse as well with 5 beds that are about 25 to 30 feet long, depending on where in the greenhouse it is. Okay, trying some new purple cauliflower freedom varieties this year, and a purple snap pea. Oh, I've done a purple snap pea years ago. It was interesting. Really nice color. I didn't like the flavor of it, but I haven't grown it since then. There's some other seed companies have been coming out with them. What was the company I got it from? Company from the States, a smaller seed company. So I tried their seeds once, and I wasn't a big fan of the purple one, but I think it's just a variety. It's a little bitter, but I want to try them again because they're really cool looking, and I'm sure they're fine. It's just my experience with them wasn't that good. You can't wait to get my Kibasa kohlrabi going. Nice. I tried kohlrabi 2 years ago with old seed, and they did all right. But I find that people don't really know what they are. So I had one lady that buys from me all the time, and she likes kohlrabi, so I sold most of them to her. Yeah. Let's see. I'm just gonna scroll here and see the comments. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So I got a bunch of new pea seeds this year too, because I've been having my old pea seeds that we got from the auction years ago, and they're just not germinating well outside. It's funny, they germinate well inside, but outside just crapshoot, not working. And then we got what else did we get? Beans. I got my friend gave me these bean seeds last year. I forgot the name of them, something dragon, and they're super long, super tender, and they're like white with red and purple speckles to them. Some of my favorite beans now. I don't think I'll grow green or yellow bush bean again after trying those. They're so good. Okay. I love the Delve potting peas. They're sweet but tall enough, and they flower at the top breeze begin. I don't think I've heard of those ones. See, the problem with growing food is there's so many different varieties that you never hear of, but it's great to hear from people like you guys. So I know more different varieties to try, because I find I'm kind of right now stuck in the same types of varieties. I'm trying to branch out, and that's why I need more garden beds, but I don't have so much time now, so I'm getting kind of strapped thin for time for being gardening on my own now. It's almost like I need to hire someone. You like the Hakurais white balls? Yeah, I'm gonna try the elevated window boxes at the east side of my greenhouse, and beans at ground level. And 1 zucchini in a 5-gallon pot while bending. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, Jane. Yeah. Yeah, there's just so much out there to try, and so many different ways to try growing different things. So things that didn't work last year, you can try next year. What I'm excited about this year is our blueberry bushes. I don't know if you guys saw the video from last year where we transplanted like 100 blueberry bushes into our garden that we got for free from somebody around the corner. They're just gonna plow them over for building lot. So I don't know how Kristen connected with them, but she connected, and we went over and dug them all up for free. There's probably 2,000 of them. We sold a lot, but hopefully this year, I know some of them got a few berries on last year, but hopefully this year they have rooted really well last summer, and we'll have tons of blueberries. We'll be doing another tree order this year. We always do a tree order from some lady Kristen came across a few years ago. Now we do a big bulk order from her. So if you guys are close by and you want some trees, Kristen has a website. I can try posting it if I can find it in the comments after this. And we order a couple hundred of them. You order them and then you pick them up from the farm here, and we do a discount price. So she gives us a discount price, and we pass that bulk discount price on everybody else. Some of the tree places I've looked at, like Hagen's, their trees are like 120 bucks for a 2 to 3 year old tree, which is ridiculous. And all her trees are about 2 years old. And I know the peach trees we got, they were 2 years old and had peaches the first year, like 2 or 3 peaches. Last year we had like 20 peaches on the peach tree. So, and that's in zone 4 up here in Bancroft. So I'm excited to try it out this year and see how many more we get off them, because they were the best peaches I've ever tasted. So sweet. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here. Tomatoes and hanging baskets as well. Do those do good? Off-grid, I forget your name. What's your name? I know you've told me before, but I always forget it. For some reason, I want to say Frank, but I think that's someone else I know from here. I've tried those hanging ones before, but that was years ago. Trying yellow and purple pole beans instead of bush beans. Usually I use Kentucky Wonder and Rattlesnake Dragon. I think that's, yeah, Rattlesnake Dragon tongue. That's the name of them. And then fingers crossed, we like these new varieties too. Awesome. Yeah, I got, she gave me a bunch of pole beans too last year. I have old pole bean seeds too, but I just have nowhere to put them up. So I got to find a new area to do some pole beans as well, because it's just so much cool stuff to grow and no space for anything, right? That's my life story. David the Good said, keep kelp meal as a general fertilizer for spring. Oh yeah, so that's one thing I want to talk to you guys about too. So what I started doing last year for my plants, I never used to use fertilizer because I was really big against it. But I started using the Gaia Green Organics, and it's pretty much organic stuff. And this is what I've been using, the 444 for my seed starts. I just mix it in with my soil, my sterilized soil, and then I noticed last year that my plants, my seed starts were way better, especially my Salanova. So I've been using this year, or past 2 years now. This will be the second year using it. And then a friend of mine is a farmer's market, the market manager actually. His friend owns this company, and it's a liquid fertilizer as well. It's what's in this one? I think this is contains mollasson, calcium, sea vegetation, which would be like your seaweeds and stuff, which is phosphorus and vitamin C. So a little bit goes a long way. So I'm going to experiment with this year too. I know last year I had another bottle of like kelp fertilizer somewhere last year that I was spraying on my some of my crops last year just to experiment and see how well it worked. And it seemed like with the Salanova, I transplanted them, waited a few days, and sprayed them, and they grew crazy with that sea kelp fertilizer. So I am changing some of my routines around here on what I do. I'm pretty much fully organic. We use all the compost from our animals. We break it down over the winter, and that's what I use to fertilize my beds and compost my beds with. But I'm trying to do a little bit of extra kick now, because just trying some new stuff, because I really need to get my production better than what I've been getting past few years. Hoping for good things from our new blueberries planted over the last 2 years too. Got them from Naps planting seeds. Planting apple, pear, plum trees this year from Willow Tree. All right, so I don't know if you've ordered trees from Willow Tree yet. I ordered them 3 or 4 years ago, my apple trees from them, and not impressed with them. I've had like 1 or 2 of them die off, and they're probably like 4 or 5 years old now, and they're still twigs. Nothing. One tree gave me 3 apples, and then they died off last year. So I'm not impressed with the Willow Tree stuff at all. The stuff we've been getting from this other lady have been amazing. So I hope that's not bad news for you. But on the other note, we did get a plum tree from Willow Tree, and it's doing amazing. I got strawberries from them. They did amazing. What else did I get from them? I think that's it. Just those 2 or 3 things from them. Yeah, I mean, it's all probably luck of the draw. I mean, even some of the trees we got from that lady too, they died off too. But I mean, it's all just transplanting, making sure you do proper transplant techniques, making sure when you put your trees and you put organic fertilizer down, and then you're watering them every day for 2 weeks is key so that the roots don't dry out and die off. Daryl, that's it. I remember that now. Daryl, it's been a while. Sorry. I meet so many people now, my brain's just can't remember everyone's name all the time. So Daryl, I knew it was Daryl. Oh, you made tomatoes in the basket. Very nice. Use the Gala 444 fertilizer. Yeah. So I might actually buy a bag of this and then hit my beds with it as well. I really need to up my game this year. Yeah. So there's another gentleman that I sent some seeds to, Frank, and I forget his name, but it's similar to yours, your screen name. All right. And where are you from again, Daryl? I can't remember. You remember if you're like south of me here or if you're somewhere out west? I can never remember that. It's so hard to keep track of everybody here. I'm just gonna scroll up here for a second, go through the comments again. Bethany or Fergus. Fergus, it sounds familiar. I gotta look it up on the map. I think you're sort of closest to me. But if you guys are close to me, and Jane, you're probably up for it, up for a day trip, but feel free to drop by the farm this year if you guys want to come up and check it out. I'll give you the garden tour and our food forest tour. Kristen is going to get big into dahlias this year. She got 70 varieties last year, which was a lot. And honestly, we sold tons of those at the market. It was ridiculous. We had some of the big dinner plate ones, which were amazing. So we got a bunch of new Seven Bridge. That's where it is. Yeah, I know where Seven Bridge has been there once or twice back in the day. Yeah, so dahlias, we're going to grow more dahlias. And I'm going to try to plant more flowers this year so I can attract more pollinators to the garden. And we want to try to get into more cut flowers this year because we did some last year and they sold pretty good, the dahlias and the sunflowers. But we want to start doing some bouquets. Give me 1 second. I want to show you something that our friend gave us last year. So our friend gave us these bottles last year near the end of the market season, and she was going to use them for kombucha. I don't know if you guys drink kombucha, but I make it I love it. It's a good probiotic drink. But she was hoping to use these for her bottles to ferment in and carbonate for the second carbonation. But they're not very good bottles. They're not a good seal, and they're not probably safe. You need to have proper glass for that. But she sent us these, gave us these, and we did cut flowers in these last year. And I sold them for $15 for a cup flowers in a jar. And I sold 3 of them within like an hour last year. So we probably have another 15 of these left. So we're hoping maybe do a cut flower subscription this year, bring your bottle back, and then you can refill it every week. Because it looks kind of nice on the table. It's got a kind of cool little design in there. It just says what, Joe cold drink or ice cold drink. So yeah, it's kind of cool. So we're just trying to expand different things. And I'll tell you a few things that we're starting to do this year as well. Let us know if you find the 444 does well. We're fully organic too. I did a deep dive into mineral amendments for our Wellington tail. Yeah, so a few years ago I did it's more than a few years ago, probably 7 years ago at my last garden. I bought some of the azomite is one word for it, or the glacial rock dust, and I added that as nutrients as well. It's all, I think there's like 100 trace minerals in there. I'm not sure if it did anything. I know I told my brother in California about it. He tried it and he swore it did amazing wonders for his garden. So yeah, but this I can tell you right now that the 444 here, it does well when I'm with my seed starts as I'm throwing in my potting mix and then putting in my seeding trays. It seems to do well so far. I'll be quite honest though, I'm not good at following the directions. I just take a scoopful and toss it in my container, just mix it up. So I don't know if I'm getting the proper amounts per bale that I'm using. But I figure some's better than none. But from my experience last year, it did all right. Yeah, they do love these. It's pretty awesome. It's cool. Those are really great bottles for kombucha. I use beer bottles from Germany, no longer available. Yeah. What I do whenever I was buying kombucha, like the GT bottles, I just saved all those bottles. I probably have like 25 of them, and I just have them in my cupboard and just reuse the lids. Been reusing the lids for like 5-6 years, and they're great, still working good because it's a proper shatterproof glass. The problem with these ones are the glass is too thin, and they're probably not rated for carbonation. You need proper bottles for carbonation, because if not, if it gets too carbonated, it can explode. I know sometimes when I open my bottles, you get so much carbonation, you got to hold it over glass, it just fizzes out and oozes. It's like a volcano. Yeah, Grolsch. Yeah, those are good bottles for kombucha too. Yeah, I used to use ones from when I first started making kombucha, some cheap pop tops from IKEA, and I stopped using those because they didn't hold the seal proper, and they were definitely not shatterproof as well. The other neat thing we're doing this year that I just started doing is oh, sorry, my brain's tired today. We are doing some tallow balm with our water buffalo. Sorry, we actually bought some water buffalo tallow from the farm in Sterling a few weeks ago, and I made a bunch of jars up, and we sold, I don't even know, like 10 little containers of tallow balm to friends and family already. It's going to sell like hotcakes. So I have a bunch more to make up. I'm going to wait closer to the market season. We did lavender essential oil one and a orange one, and the orange just seems to be more popular, so the tallow balm is really nice. So that's another added product we're doing this year. We're butchering up buffalo hopefully in the next 2 weeks. We just got to figure out how to load him up and get him in, because that's gonna be fun. I don't know if I'll be able to make a video with that, because it's gonna be all hands on deck trying to load that sucker in. He's pretty tame, pretty mellow, but we need to just figure out how we're gonna do it. I need to use a pitchfork to prod him in the butt. That seems to motivate them pretty good. Okay, totally blew up a bottle once. I keep my GT bottles for tinctures. Yeah, I've never blown up a bottle, luckily, yet, but I definitely have. I think I'll come close, because you can tell when the top starts swelling, it's time to open them up or get them in the fridge to slow down that carbonation. Oh, mushrooms. Yeah, I'd love to grow mushrooms one day. We bought some of those kits before. I got actually one, I found them again. I need to try starting up again for some shiitakes, but I mean, when you grow shiitake mushrooms, yeah, I gotta cut your trees down. You gotta, I think you let them dry a bit, then you gotta like soak them in water. Then you have to get plugs and plug them and seal them with wax. And I think the shiitake mushroom plugs are a little temperamental. But I've been doing pretty lucky around here. Last year, I liked morels, so I was driving all around my bush in a four-wheeler, like when it was morel season. Couldn't find a single morel. It blew my mind. And then, funny enough, I walk out to my little food forest here with apple trees and blueberries. I look down, and the biggest morels I'd ever seen were sitting out there, like 20 of them. Go figure, eh? You go look around your property, you can't find a mushroom, and then you find a morel. And then, actually, I went to my neighbor's place to help her out one day, and I came back. I was driving down the Sugar Bush Road. I looked down, and nowhere of a lie, there's a morel this big. I'd never seen a morel so big in my life. So I found morels here. There's 5 or 6 stashes now I've found of chanterelles that come up every year. There's only 2 or 3 chanterelles here and there in my spots. And then I've found this one tree that grows a beartooth mushroom. So I've been cutting those down when I find them. And we got lots of chaga on the property. I just harvested a bunch of chaga. Yeah, trying oysters last fall. Hard to fell some poplar to clear space for a smokehouse, so we use those logs for it. We'll see. Let me know how those go, because I have tons of poplar trees here that I've been cutting down for firewood, because poplar trees, I don't know if a lot of you guys know, they rot in the center pretty quickly. So they're one of those trees. They're nice trees, but they rot out so fast. And I've been cleaning them out of my bush last year. I got the giant ones. I'm afraid to cut them down sometimes because the branches are so big and tall, and they're kind of sketchy. Yeah, you saw that video interview with your mushroom growing neighbor. All right. Yeah, I want to start growing mushrooms, but we'll see what happens. It's one of those things, another thing on the list to do and no time to do it, right? Yeah, I don't know. There's so much that I like to get my hands into, and yeah, your bush is full of poplar, right? Yeah, I don't have too many. I've got some, but we're mostly maples in our bush. I've been noticing a lot of the ironwood in our bush. We have some pine trees, not too much, and fair bit of birch in certain areas. There's birch in a bit of areas. But I've been trying to clean out. Oh, we had a bunch of beech trees too. That's where I found the beartooth mushroom. But a lot of them are dying off. So my first year here, I cut down probably like 20, 30 beech trees because they're all dying, rotting out. Need to get rid of them. Had yeah, just trying to clean out the forest area so I can have some other new trees coming up. I've been trying to clear up, excuse me, a lot of trees so I can have more of my maples come up. I like to extend my maple bush farther out, but my problem right now is that where I'm at, everything's pretty flat now, so I can't really get much of a drop line or drop on it, so I can't create the vacuum to pull it back to my connection points, which actually season's probably gonna start next week, and I gotta figure out how to get to my bush because there's so much snow. Anyways, I'll be doing some live streams from the sugar bush again this year. I did 2 or 3 last year to show you my process, and excuse me, I need to fire that up again soon. Just do a quick dry run on it and make sure we are no leaks and it's working well. We were following the Muskoka Herbals recommendations on log types matched to the mushroom variety, but we know nothing. Yeah, I think shiitakes. What tree was it you used? I think it might have been oak tree you used for shiitakes. I think there's 2 or 3 different varieties as well. I don't know much about that either. Muskoka mushroom. Okay, yeah, Jane, I will post. I will get the link. Maybe I'll email you the link as well, Jane. Because Kristen has it. I just gotta find out where she's put it. I'm sure it's on my Facebook somewhere. And yeah, we want to grow more trees. I want to get actually, I might order some more grapevines. Actually, Bethany, grapevines. I got 3 or 4 grapevines from Whiffletree. They're 2-year-old vines I got from them. I put them in. First year, I think 1 or 2 vines gave me 2 or 3 clusters. Second year, I got no grapes whatsoever. But last year, oh my goodness, a 1 vine. It was a Swenson Red. It must have been 50 to 60 clusters on that vine. It was ridiculous. And the other 2 ones were Escato Muscat. I think that's how you pronounce the first word, Escato. But they had some grapes on them, but not as much. But I took cuttings this year, or last year. Hopefully I can get some cuttings. But I'm going to order some more, I think, from tree grapes this year. I want to get 2 or 3 more varieties, some seedless ones this year. And see, no, go ahead. It's all good, Daryl. Post away. The more resources we can share around, the better. I'm always looking for new places too for getting product and things for myself as well. 3 vines from that them at our old farm, they went gangbusters as long as I kept them trimmed back. Yeah, I need to prune mine this year. They like expanded out so much, those grapevines this year, the one especially. Yeah, so I know I want to have some grapes for the market as well. And I bought a few juice presses. So this spring, or not this spring, sorry, this summer, I'm hoping to have enough fruit from the grapes I can make some grape juice. And if I had enough, I'd try making some wine. Like I have time for that. Not that I drink wine very often. It's very rare. Okay, so I would love to go for a drive Bancroft this summer. Yeah, come on up if you want, Daryl. I've got another guy, Frank. He wants to come up and see my sugar bush set up in the maple syrup, and how that's all done here. And I think he was, I forget where he's from, because I know I said and stuff, so he's not too far away either. But it's cool to meet all you guys off YouTube. And when I went to the Homestead Conference last year in Denby, I met a lot of people. I met Jane there, and I met one of the guys I'd been following for a while, Darren from oh, he was just on start for this thread. What's Thorhaven? Met him, Thorhaven, and then I met Remy from Remy's Homestead, and I met who else did I meet? Maudlin, I think her name is. She's from Quebec as well, and I met there's another woman, oh, Marcy. I actually just added her on Facebook. She's from where the conference was. I'm blanking out again, but I met her too, and I met a few other people from up there, which was pretty awesome. So all these people I watch here and there, meeting in person is pretty cool. Okay, boiling down some maple syrup fudge night right now. Very nice recipe from an old order Mennonite friend, but it only works if you have raw cream, store-bought kernels. Who knows what? Well, you want to know why? Because raw milk's the bomb. We love our Jersey cows. We milk them try to milk them every day. Reason it probably kernels is probably because it's pasteurized, and who knows what else they're bringing that milk. But yeah, we have fresh cream all the time here. I made a double Gloucester cheese the other day. I'm hoping to make another parm cheese, but I need like 28 liters of milk for that, so I get a big enough wheel off it. I'm trying to stock up my cheeses for the summer when I'm busy and don't have time. I made some farmhouse cheddars this winter. Um, oh, the onions you sent, yeah, those are the walking onions, I believe. Maybe it was you I sent, but I thought I sent someone else some too. I can't remember. It's all blur. Um, yeah. So with our raw milk, it's awesome. We've been making cheese, sour cream, yogurt, butter. Um, Tristan last year made buttermilk, caramel, which was so good. Um, but yeah, raw milk is where it's at. Yeah, the walking onions. You're welcome. Yeah, those things are crazy. You only get 5 or 6 seeds, and then they'll pop out. They'll pop more seed out right away, and then they give you more in the fall. So you can get tons of onions out of those things within like a year or two. You never need to buy seeds for those again. Is anyone going to the Creedmoor on the 22nd to see Greg Judy present on rotational grazing? I'm thinking of it. No, for us, Creedmoor's a bit of a way for us to get there. It's probably like 4 hours from Bancroft, I think. There's all these things I want to go see and do. Because we need to do rotational grazing ourselves. We need to set some fences up. We tried electric fence last year, and the one cow, she was a bully. Well, not a bully, but she's a Jersey Angus cross, and she started ripping fences down. So she went to freezer camp. She is no longer with us. But I'm trying to get our backfield fixed up this summer. Like, got most of the fences fixed last year along the one side. Put out a bunch of T-posts because there's lots of rocks and roots now, so we can't drill into it. But I need to get the other side fixed up because I need the backfield open this year so we can get our animals grazing back there. So we can get our front field separated again and try to do the rotational grazing up there so that they're not just eating everything down all at once. Walking onions, yes, Jay, I sent you walking onions as well. They do overwinter well, yeah. What animals do you have, Bethany? If you're doing the rotational grazing, I'm assuming you have some animals. We have our water buffaloes. We actually had two. There are two old girls, Carol and Bonnie. They passed away not too long ago. They're just getting old. We're hoping to get them to the butcher, but we didn't get them there in time, sadly. But yeah, that's the way it goes when you're farming. You new farmer have to restart our infrastructure, so it's kind of time to think. Yeah, if you have a new area to work, try to figure out the best way to do it. Watch lots of people, see how everyone's doing it. For us, I think we're gonna end up wanting to put in proper fence posts up the field with proper fences in to do the grazing. But right now we just have stepping posts, and we'll have to do electric, which we did last year or the year before. The one cow that we just took to freezer camp, she didn't respect electric fences, but like the water buffalo horses do, and the cows definitely do. So we need to get that going. I just want to set them all up again. It's ridiculous having to take them all up and take them down again 2-3 months later. You're down to pigs and a megary poultry now. Cool. Want to bring larger stock back in, but we need to think of our fencing again. We have some swamps, so it's tricky. Yeah, swamp. We're pretty lucky. We don't have any swamp here. We're pretty dry. It's all on a hill here. So all where our grazing area is, it's nice and dry. There's one area where I want to put in a small well, and so we can have extra water so we don't drain all our stuff, our well in the summertime. I do have the pond that I use for our irrigation, but it's yeah, there's so much to think about and figure out things. If you want someone who's got things dialed in, I don't know if you ever watched Curtis Stone. He's got his homestead up in Kelowna, but he's got like redundancy after redundancy on his homestead. And I did a course with him actually I think it's 5 or 6 years ago now, with him and J.M. Fortier at James Farm in Quebec. And that was a week-long course, but he's kind of shifted to homesteading, and that guy's got it all figured out, man. Like between the solar panels, his greenhouse, his garden, his infrastructure, he's got it nailed. I wish I had that kind of thought process on how to do things. I'm just really doing things on the fly here, just because that's how I do things. I try to plan but I'm not like the hardcore planner doing things how I probably should be doing. I'm trying to do things the proper way the first time, so I don't have to do things twice. All right, so I think I'm gonna have to hop off here. My voice is starting to go. I haven't talked this much in probably like 10 years. But thanks everyone for dropping in. It's good to see everyone, and it's hope you guys enjoy the rest of your winter or spring or whatever's being thrown our way. It's supposed to be like minus 32 overnight in the next night or two. So yeah, he's not far from my brother who's off-grid over in the same mountain range. Very cool. Yeah, he's a he's a very interesting guy, Curtis Stone. I like him. He's very like aggressive. Not aggressive. Well, yeah, aggressive, but he's like he knows what he's talking about. He's very well thought out and smart guy. He knows what he's talking about. I wish I had that kind of thought process. Um, thanks, Jane. I'm hoping to do a cheese video. It's just a lot of long process doing cheese videos, like 2 or 3 days, and I lose patience doing videos for that long a time. But anyways, thanks for dropping in, guys. I am out of here. Need to get some water and rehydrate my throat here. And if I get around to it, I gotta start doing more lives because this was fun. I'll definitely be doing some more next week once I get the Sugar Shack fired up. You guys can hang out in the steam room with me. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. We'll see you out there.